showtime. Woo, woo. Woo, 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 woo. Styling and profiling. Woo, It's live and in color. Woo!
Welcome to the Mafia Sports Report. I am Tommy, and joining me is my buddy Mike from Nickel City Mafia, because my buddy, Mr. Mikey, who's actually in the chat, is sick. So get well soon, brother, because I need you back. But Mike is so kind enough to be my special co-host for today. Mike, thank you. I appreciate you, bud.
Anytime, my friend. Glad to help you out. And Mikey, I hope you get well soon. And we made it easy on you, Tommy. I mean, if you call me Mike or Mikey, you got the name right, man. Maybe I should have put my name as Mikey today.
Right. Mikey number 2. Mikey right?
number 2.
Yeah, man. By the way, this is Mikey right here, Apex006. So anyone that has Twitter, even though he doesn't go on there that much, that is his Twitter handle. And that's why I was calling the Apex man. So yes, today, Mike, much better game, especially by the starters today. And I wasn't a fan of having the starters play today. I was totally against it last week. I was like, hey, this is before McDermott even said the starters were going to play. I was like, I said, no way. It would be a big mistake. Rest them, get them right for week 1. You don't need any more injuries, especially with the offensive line, and fix your issues, because most of the issues from last week were penalties, just dumb things, right? It really wasn't like Allen playing bad or Diggs playing bad or Davis. Like, they all play pretty well. It was just boneheaded mistakes. And then I kind of thought about it last night when the chat was going through, and I kind of said, you know what? Maybe McDermott is doing a retake of week 2. And depending how the first series goes, if it goes smooth, no issues, then I guarantee it's probably that one series. And I kind of was right. I mean, some starters stayed in, but for the most part, they all went out. What was your observations of this game as far as the starters playing?
Yeah, I was good with the starters going based on the performance last week. I get it. You run the risk of an injury, and it could have backfired, Tommy. I mean, they could have went out there in the first series and looked bad again. But no, it went just what we would expect. Again, you're not going against the Steeler defense this week. You're going against the Bears defense. They're not as good, but they had their number ones in there. And the Bills did what they should have done. They went right down the field, scored a touchdown, take the rest of the day off. For some people, there were starters that were stayed in for quite some time, which I thought was good. Kind of see how Kyle Allen looks, with those starters in front of him. But yeah, at the time I was happy with it. Get that momentum. That's what I wanted to see. Get Josh and Diggs were cooking, looked good. Cook looked good. Offensive line looked pretty good. Again, exactly what you'd want if the starters were going to play healthy. Everyone left healthy, man. So super happy with that.
Yeah, this was a good bounce back performance by them. Because last week was, like I said, it wasn't terrible last week, I don't think. It was just the penalties and the boneheaded mistakes that made it look terrible, I guess you could say, right? For the first series, first team. So, by the way, real quick. So everybody that's in the chat, I want to say Mike is not here, and Mikey normally handles the chat. So I'm going to tell you guys right now, I'm going to try my best to get the chat going, because I'm doing everything at once. So once again, Mark, thank you for joining us. Spin, always. Mark, thank you. Matt Chatter, everybody. Sophia, Aloha. So I'm guessing she's from Hawaii. And who else? Sarah, Christine, thank you. Jessica Tennis, thank you for being here. And yeah, I think Benford has, and we're going to talk about this, I think Benford might get that spot, man. I like the way he plays, man. Cali Blitz, my buddy, man. What's going on, man? Run game was pretty damn good. Yeah. I think they're starting to showcase that. So everyone, once again, thank you for joining us. I'm sorry if I missed your name. I didn't mean to, put you down like that, but thanks to everybody in here so far. I thought Patrick coming in, I thought Ed Oliver broke Justin Fields' ribs on that hit on his chest, reminding me of Milano hitting Mike White last year. By the way, Ed Oliver started that Mike White thing last year. He was the first one that delivered the hit on Mike White, and then round 2 came and Matt Milano KO'd him. Right, so don't get it twisted. Ed Oliver can twist you into a pretzel, and yeah, I think the Bears coach was like, "Yep, let's pull." It was so odd too because he pulled him during a series, so it's like in the red zone. I believe they were in the red zone at that time too, or heading in the red zone. What was your thoughts on that, Mike, about them pulling their quarterback?
You're exactly right. I mean, I think they had first and goal at the 10-yard line, something like that, and they pull them out. But I don't blame them. Like you said, Tommy, I mean, if a big guy hits my my QB number 1 and there's no reason for him to be in any longer, let's get him the heck out of there.
Dude, I don't know if I've ever, I'm going to be honest, I don't know if I've ever seen that.
Yeah.
As far as like when a team is driving and they're in the red zone, and like even I know I get it, like you want to protect your quarterback, but that was a little odd because the guy was just like, "Yo, all right, get out." This is really, I was like, "Wow, like damn, dude, like all right, But like you said, I don't blame him. He saw that maybe the writing on the wall that this dude is gonna, the next big hit could crack his ribs. Who knows? So I don't kind of blame him, but I'm sure he wanted to at least finish the drive. You know what I mean? Unless maybe he did get bruised up and they didn't say anything. He could have said, "Yo, coach," right? Like, I don't know. Let's just rest me here a little bit here because I'm just guessing. Because usually players want to finish. Like, I don't see Josh going. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think, I could be wrong. What do you think? You think McDermott would have pulled Josh there? Just question. Just
no, because you're in the red zone. It is surprising to me, Tommy, because they're in the red zone. That's something you want to practice. That's something you want to have some experience with during preseason. So it is surprising to me. And no, I do not think Josh would have been like, "Let me finish this. Let me finish this, coach. Next play is going in the end zone."
Right. He would have been pissed, right? Like, like, "All right, you want to hit me? All right, let's do this. This shit's real. Okay, we'll make it real now." Like, Mad Chatter coming in. Puna underwhelmed, or am I tripping? Puna's been kind of quiet, but I thought he's had a pretty good preseason. I'm not gonna lie. I think he's done better than Tim Settle, in my opinion. So, yeah, I mean, not. I don't think like there's some players that really were kind of quiet this preseason in a way, but Puna may be one of them. But I thought he did well. I mean, nothing. I didn't hear his name much. I don't know if it's good or bad, but we'll see when the regular season starts. But I think he's definitely making the team. The only starter that was in there a little bit longer, again, and me and Mikey were talking about this, O'Cyrus Torrence on the offensive line. He's the only starter that remained in there at one point on the offensive line. Are they still evaluating him? Like, dude, like this guy's like one of the best on the field right now. Like, what is going on here? What do you think there? Like, do you still think they're just like questioning his toughness, or they just want to see more of him? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, not at all. I think just getting him the experience. I thought Spencer Brown, they
did too.
Brown
I apologize. Spencer Brown was in. Yeah, you're right. I do apologize. Brown was,
so I think they wanted them to just work on the chemistry between the two of them. Yeah, no doubt that O'Cyrus is going to be that starter. That money.
Hey, Mike, come on, give it to me. Tell me who's right. This is I love this, guys. Go ahead, because Mike said no way. Bates.
I did. Now, don't get me wrong. I did say Torrance by week 3. I did say that, but you made a great point. You're like, hey, if a guy earns a spot, why are you going to replace him week 1, 2, or 3, right? If Bates had earned that spot, it wouldn't make sense. So you're right on this one. I just was overly cautious because of how the Bills treat those early draft choices. So I'm glad to see it. He's been fantastic.
Right. I'm better than Settle. No, I doubt that. I'd probably get broken within the first 2 seconds in there, but no, I appreciate the compliment. But no, man, listen, the reason why I don't even know if Buffalo understood what they were getting when they drafted Torrance. And that was like my whole argument throughout really the offseason before we drafted him. Like, I don't know if people really understand how good this dude is and can be. Like, he hasn't really reached his full potential, right? And I just knew that once he got into camp, he would earn it. And he wouldn't let Bates take it away. Like I heard no part of camp where Bates was like outshining him at any point in camp, right? So you kind of saw it there, and then week 1 of preseason, he's a starter, right? He's starting. So it's kind of was like, okay, you kind of see where Cromer and McDermott was kind of going, okay, yeah, this guy is probably better than what we anticipated. We need to see more. And I think they saw everything they needed to, and he will be your right guard starting in week 1. So let's get to some of your comments. I apologize, man. Once again, don't kill me on this, guys. Mikey is usually in charge. I love the play calling. Yeah. So even though today was a preseason game and it was still generic, it was still vanilla, I do like Ken Dorsey's play calling in this preseason game. I thought he did a good job mixing in the run and the pass early on. He got Cook going, right? He got Allen going early. He got kind of everybody involved. What did you think about the offensive play calling, Mike?
Yeah, I thought it was like what we normally see, except for they were taking some checkdowns. They threw a couple screen plays, which I'd like to see. Want to see more of that this year because that an offensive line who's getting bull rush or struggling, those little dump offs, those screens, get it to those fast guys you brought in and let them do their magic. So I liked everything I saw. I love the run game was cooking, as you said. I love that Damian Harris was in there. I'm probably going too far ahead, but
no, you're fine.
Great to see him, and he played for an extended period of time, and he looked good. So I was happy to see that.
He did. That's the Harris I want to see.
Yep.
That's the Harris that we all want to see, right? But we'll get into that in a little bit when we get to the stats. But Jessica coming in, Bates is our center when Morse leaves, and I think so too. Me and Mikey, which we very rarely agree on stuff, we agree on this, and I think Bates is going to be the center when Mitch Morse retires, and that's probably why they didn't draft a center in this year's draft. I think they're grooming him, and he's done very good every time he's had the opportunity to come in for Morse. By the way, another guy that looked good today, David Edwards, I thought filling in for McGovern looked very good. I didn't see any, nothing that tells me that he can't handle that. If McGovern can't go week 1 or week 2, whatever, because we don't know really what's going on with McGovern. The coach really didn't give us much, to be honest with you. So I am cool with Edwards from what I saw today. What did you think about Edwards?
Oh, loved it. Loved what I saw. Hadn't seen a lot of him. I knew he played for the Rams. I saw what we did to him in week 1 against the Rams last year. So had concerns, but what I saw today in the field was great. And as far as Bates goes, I mean, Bates is so versatile. And I mean, I know people were saying, hey, let's let Osiris get the start. You got to protect Bates. And because Bates could be your center, he could be your tackle, Tommy, at some point. And of course, we know he can play anywhere on the line. So his versatility also kind of, makes you want to protect him and keep him back. But Torrance would have won. If it's a straight up battle for the right guard, Torrance is your guy. But I love that we have Bates that's has that versatility. Edwards was great, man. Loved what I saw from 100%. Edwards today.
I'm on board with you with Bates. Like Bates, like those kind of players are tough to get. Guys that are versatile, can go to any position at any time. Doesn't mean he's great at every single position, but the fact that he could play it every position and he's pretty good, at every position, it's good to have. And I think like I said, center is probably his spot if he's going to be a starting offensive lineman in this league. He's going to be a starter. He's going to be a center. I think that's where they're going to ultimately put him. But like I said, we'll see. Chris coming in. Dotson had a good game today. I'm going to say he did. I'm going to say he did okay. He did okay. He had a missed tackle. He was out of place at one time. I think it was on the run to the outside. That was a chunk run. He did okay. Once again, I think even Tasker said he was out of place at one point. He didn't pick it up. I think it was a pass, actually. I apologize. It wasn't a run. Just in the wrong place. He's okay. I'm still not comfortable with him. But I have a feeling he is going to be the guy. And by the way, Spector went down today. I don't know the severity of the injury, but not that he was going to be a starter, but not good for him either. Clear your eyes, Tommy. I did. What do you think about Dotson's play today? Am I alone in that, or you think he played good?
I was trying to be positive. I had a note here that, hey, it was good to see Dotson make the stat sheet. Did you lose me?
No, I didn't lose you.
Oh, okay. Sorry, you scared me there. Like my mic went out or something. But like I said, I try to be positive. Dotson made the stat sheet, 2 tackles, and nothing special. He played a lot. Again, they had him out on the field quite a bit, and I thought the coverage, we're really going to be hurting in coverage. Both Klein and him, they're just not coverage guys, man. Klein's better at the run, obviously, but no, I didn't see anything too special, Tommy.
So my co-host coming in with capital letters. I
yeah, exactly.
So, he was not okay. He was garbage, says Mikey. By the way, guys, everybody tell Mikey, who's in the chat right now, to give him get well soon, Mikey. You know what I mean? Because we need him back. Hopefully for Monday he's back. Rough running the show without you, because I am missing a whole bunch of chats, and people are gonna be like, F this guy, I'm out of here. We would never bash Tommy. You're a G. Yes. All right. So let's see what else I'm missing.
I wish I could help you, Tommy, but the guests aren't allowed to help with the chats or anything. So sorry,
they're coming in quick and getting quick. Isabella hurt his chances a lot. Yeah. So I've been saying it. I wasn't impressed with his kick returns and punt returns, even in Arizona. At least from what I saw on film. And fumbling today, not good, but he's still not bad to have. If Hardy goes down, like he's still reliable enough where I would feel safe with him back there. God forbid if Hardy went down, but no, Hardy is going to be the guy in my opinion. Not that Hardy's been amazing, but he's been an all-pro returner in the past, and that's something Isabella has never been. So I'm gonna take Hardy over Isabella all day, every day. However, Isabella as a receiver is interesting. I'm not going to lie, but Isabella did not start today and Hardy did. So I don't think Isabella's going to make the team. Mike, what do you think? I don't think he's going to, man.
So I've been saying he's not going to make the team. Again, like a lot of people have been talking him up so much, not much on the return game. He's made some catches, but I mean, you're a receiver and you're playing against usually second and third stringers, so you should make some catches. But here's the thing, Tommy. I've been hearing people say this, and this might be the case. So last year, they started the team at the start of the year, the 53-man roster with 7 receivers, and they quickly put Marcus Stevenson on IR, and they had 6. And that worked out because Sam Martin wasn't quite signed yet. Then they signed Sam Martin. So if you're keeping 6, that means it's between Shakir and Isabella and the receiver, and I want Shakir all day over Isabella. But I think there's a play because Shakir is dinged up. He's got some rib injury. I've been hearing people say they might put him on the IR, and that frees up a spot for Isabella for at least a few weeks.
I heard that as well, which is interesting.
Yeah.
About Shakir, and he was hurt. He didn't even play it today.
Correct.
So, yeah, that's an interesting take. I wouldn't hate Isabella making the team. I'll be honest with you, because I see flashes like of him being a contributor to this offense. I think he could be a decent slot. But Hardy, I don't know. Like then you're taking away some time with Hardy on the field as well, who I think is I think it'd be better than Isabella. But I don't know. That's a tough one. That's something for Mikey, who actually is in the chat, and he's sick and he's here. I don't know.
What's up, Mikey?
I am here, kind of.
He decided he's like, enough of this crap talk.
I heard Tommy that crap.
Talking, saying Dotson's okay today.
What is wrong?
I am not taking that anymore. Mikey, can you control the chat now? Are you in?
Yeah, I'm here.
I am done. I have done an awful job today after chat. I've done awful, and people are probably leaving going, this guy is a joke. So please take care of the chat for me.
I got you, brother.
And I will continue. And go ahead. Let's hear from you. Because by the way, Mike is here. I got 2 mics. Mikey and a Mike. Welcome, Mikey. Mike.
Mike
was so gracious to help. Yeah,
I'm glad Mike stepped in. I appreciate that. First off, let's start with Dotson, which I had to come in and say something.
Yeah,
Dotson looked fantastic against the third team. He did not look good against the first and second team. He missed tackles and open field tackles that led to long 3rd and 10 completions and to give him first downs. He missed open assignments. I guess he commanded the defense well because we went 3 and out right away. So he called the play good, wonderful. But when we rely on him to actually make a play, he can't do it against starters. So I take that for what it is. However, the concern is Klein was playing into the fourth quarter today, which usually means, and I don't know if he was playing into the fourth quarter due to Dorian Williams not being there today and then Spector getting hurt, so they just had to have someone fill in. And there's no Matakevich still, so he just was the last person there. Or if it's a sign that maybe he's not going to be making the roster. So, because we're 2 weeks out and Bernard started practicing this week. So he'll be back.
Yeah.
What was the word on Dorian Williams? Why didn't we see him? Is he dinged up?
No. What did I tell you about Dorian Williams?
He was one of 3 that were scratched before the game. Okay. Who was it? It was Shakir with his ribs, McGovern with his knee, and then Dorian Williams had something going on, and nobody knows. They didn't talk about what it was, but he was one of 3 that they said that wasn't going to play today.
Got it.
Yeah, and it was also Murray. Murray took a vet. It was like a vet.
Yeah, it was a vet day for Murray.
Yeah.
Klein looked much better. Yeah, Matt Cheddar. I thought Klein looked a lot better today. He looked better in pass coverage today too. I mean, Klein from a knowledge standpoint has the edge over all of them. He played with McDermott in Carolina plus multiple years here. The problem with Klein is he very much doesn't have the reflexes that he used to have, which is the concern of why you don't want him out there. But I would take the higher floor in Klein week 1 over the limited ceiling of Dotson in week 1. But that's just me. What the hell do I know?
Yeah, I agree, Mikey. I still think that the waiver wire is going to be interesting as far as what's out there, but I think they made a huge mistake early on in the offseason by almost saying Dotson was going to be the guy starting week 1, which is kind of looking like it. And they didn't do anything to address it. And now if you pick up a middle linebacker in free agency, if there's a quality one out there, they still got to learn the playbook, right? So I don't even know if he's going to be worth anything coming week 1. Mm-hmm. So we are kind of stuck, guys. Like, this is it, right? So you got Dotson, right? You got AJ Klein, who are both kind of, I'll be honest, they're all both kind of the same player. Klein, I don't know if I trust Klein any more than I trust Dotson. They're both bad at pass coverage. And then you got Bernard, who I actually would play Bernard over both those guys, but he is dealing with a hamstring injury, which is a soft tissue injury. Who knows when he's going to come back or how that's going to affect him during the season. And then you got Spector, who got hurt today. So we are very limited in middle linebacker right now. So Dirt is going to have to go with their gut, and it's probably going to be Dotson.
Jessica comes in and says Klein is responsible for that long screen. See, this is where we can look at the TV view versus the all 22. I'll be interested because I don't look at it as a linebacker issue. I look at that as a defensive line issue. They never read screen at all, and they went for the to hit the quarterback. Later on in the game, we read screen and we took him down for like a 3-yard gain on a long play. So when I look at screen plays and the success of them, linebackers have a small piece of it, but the defensive line plays the bigger role, in my opinion.
Yeah. What do you think, Mike, about the middle linebacker position that the Bills are right now in a hole? Really, they I don't know what they're going to do. Like, what can they do at this point?
It's been the same story all preseason, all training camp, like that big question mark, and we didn't see that question mark get answered. And Klein, like you said, Mikey, definitely looks better. We're going to have to roll. I think they're going to roll with him over Dotson. I would rather him, but either way, is not a good situation. I think it's temporary, like you said, Tommy. Even if we do see someone that gets cut that we pick up, it's going to take some time. I was I was bummed that Dorian didn't play. I was thinking maybe there'd be a chance they throw him at middle linebacker because, they drafted Bernard to fill the role of middle linebacker. They didn't give him a lot of playing time last year. That's because Edmonds is your starter. He was there, but they knew Edmonds. I mean, everyone knew. Did you guys know Edmonds was going to be gone? The Bills knew this. The Bills knew he was going to get a big payday, and they weren't going to pay him. So they had time to plan for this. Unfortunately, Bernard, and I was reviewing all the linebackers that were taken in 2022, and it was hit or miss. Unless you went early, it was hit or miss with these guys. And Bernard, like all the guys that were taken in the third round, the only one that I would have loved to see the Bills get was Nakobe Dean. He was the top linebacker out of college, but he had a lot of injury concerns. But he's the starter now. He's the starter at middle linebacker for the Eagles, and they could have moved up 6 spots to maybe get him. But I don't know what the Bills.
Instead, we took Bernard.
Yeah, we took Bernard. Again, they would have to move up to get him. But all those other linebackers in the third round, they haven't really, gained starting positions either right now. So I don't know. I was mad at being a McDermott at first, but as I'm doing this research on this linebacker situation, I'm like, I don't know. I mean, their best options, Mikey, was in the offseason to get, to get Bobby Wagner or get Levante David.
And neither one of them were really a logical option for us due to money. Yeah. But there were a lot of second-tier linebackers, a few of them signed with Kansas City that we could have went out and got. That's where I think we missed the mark from a Bill standpoint. They thought Dodson was going to be in that same tier as some of those other guys, and they were wrong. And nothing tells me that they're going to go away from Dodson for Klein. I want them to go with Klein, but as bad as Dodson played last week, he started today.
Exactly.
McDermott is freaking, stubborn as hell. When he feels something, and he'll double down on his bad bet sometimes, and it drives me crazy.
Yeah, that's why I told you. That's why I think Dotson's going to be your week 1 starter. However, and I said it, Mikey knows, I've been saying this. I don't think he's going to be our week-to-week starter. I think Klein gets a start 1 week. It just depends how it goes. And that's not good either. Right? Mm-hmm. We're shuffling through middle linebackers all season, depending on the team we're playing. And maybe even during the game. So you might, even if Dotson starts week 1, let's say hypothetically, Klein could wind up getting more snap counts week 1. It's going to be a wild season at middle linebacker unless somehow, some way, they get lucky, get one on through a trade or free agency that's a durable middle linebacker. Give him a little time to adjust to the defense, and hopefully Dotson or Klein can hold the fort down. Hopefully it's not so bad until this guy gets ready and we put him in. But I don't know. I really don't. It's the one position that is a little scary right now for me as far as the defense goes. Everything else today, though, I got to say the DBs played very good today. I got to say, though, Elam, man. He played better today, but he's just not up there with Benford yet. I think Benford what did you see with Elam that concerned you? I thought he was okay. I didn't say bad. I thought he was okay. I thought he played okay today. I didn't say bad, but I don't think he jumped enough to jump over Benford. I thought Benford played very well today. I'm telling you, I thought the DBs in a whole played great today. I thought they all did their job today. And when they got beat, they still got on the ball. They still made a play on the ball. Even Saran Neal, man, and we'll talk about later with Saran because he was all over the place today. But Benford was all over the place, and I thought Benford made a case to be CB2 today. I really did. Start with you, Mike. What do you think about Benford?
I love Benford. I mean, he got to start last year. I like him over Dane just because he's bigger, brings more physicality. He's looked great. He had good coverage today. He's proven that he could be CB2. I just don't know. I still think Dane was out there. I think they pulled Trey early, I believe. And I don't know. I don't know if they're going to be courageous enough to go away from Dane Jackson, which I think they should. I think Benford's the guy, but Kyer was playing late in the game. So for me, it's Daner, Benford, and then Elam's that third guy right now. We'll see him. Obviously, they're going to play him. They did it last year. They rotate him in and out. So I think you're right, Benford. If I'm betting, I'm going to say that Dane Jackson's a starter, just based
agree
on what
with
I've
that.
seen in the past,
I agree. I
what the
agree
Bills
with you.
like to do with the safety net there. But I'd love to see Benford. Either way, it's a good position to be in, to have these guys,
Mhm.
these 3 guys that are added to your depth. I feel good about that position. I'm not worried about that one. Can they play linebacker by any chance?
Right? No,
Right.
no, they can't. Mikey, what's your thoughts, man?
I thought Dane is what Dane always does. He's steady Eddie. And I don't want to crap on steady Eddie because I want to see better. Dane is a solid number 2 in this league. He is. He's a better version of Levi Wallace.
Yeah.
In my opinion. What Benford gives you is the athletic that we want so much from Elam. Elam gives you the highest ceiling but the lowest floor of the 3. Benford has a lower floor than Dane, but a higher ceiling than Dane. And then Dane's just that, low ceiling, high floor guy. What you see is what you get. I would personally, I would rather see Benford out there. The fact that he got the start today, I think, says a lot because it's the first time he's gotten one this preseason.
Mm-hmm.
It was Dane, and then Benford, and they didn't even rotate him out until the second team, and that's when Trey left. That's when Dane came in, which was cool to see. So they really let Benford get a lot of run. I'm hoping it's him, but nothing. I don't trust Sean McDermott to make that call. I trust him to go with the guy that he thinks is going to give him the most consistent play, and that has been Dane Jackson. Even though it drives us crazy with he did it again today. He, comes up like he's going to play tight man to man. And then before it snaps, about 5 seconds before it snaps, he drops back 12 yards off the ball. And it's an easy hitch route. They catch it and then they get a first down. It drives me nuts. I hate that defense.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with you both, man. I think McDermott is stubborn as hell, and he's done this plenty of times in the past, and he will do it again. And Dane, and listen, but this is not. I want to make it clear too. I'm not shitting on Dane Jackson. I think Dane Jackson's had a good preseason. I do. I think Dane Jackson's actually stepped up compared to last season. So at least that's a positive, even if he gets a start, which I have a feeling he will, or a CB2. But don't be shocked if Benford winds up at some point in the season taking that role away from Dane Jackson.
I don't disagree.
All right, what are we missing in the chat? Because I'm sure we missed a lot.
I know Jessica Tennis came in and asked. She thinks either Dotson or Klein gets cut. I don't think either one of them gets cut now that Spector got hurt. I think Spector goes on IR, and I think Klein will get cut officially, but he'll be told to wait in the parking lot as they put Spector on IR and then bring Klein back. I think the same thing's going to happen with Isabella. I think Isabella's going to get cut, told to wait in the parking lot. I think they're going to put Shakir on the IR and then re-sign Isabella. So there's going to be you're going to see a lot of that roster games as we move forward. Another one, Chris came in and said he thinks Barkley's better than Allen, and I think he's high. Nothing I've seen from Matt Barkley tells me that he's better than Kyle Allen. Nothing.
Right. So I will say this. So now that we're on the Kyle Allen thing, I didn't think he played terrible today. I didn't think he played great either. I thought he played okay. He was in most of the game. Let's be real, right? So Allen had his first series. The interception, yes, was 100% his fault. It was a bad throw. The fumble, once again, you got to have a little bit of pocket presence, right? You're holding the ball out there a little bit too long. Got to know when to get rid of the ball there. So those are definitely his fault, in my opinion. Those two turnovers. But other than that, I thought he got into a groove. I thought he made some good passes today. Passes that Matt Barkley cannot make. Let's be real. Matt Barkley has like a noodle arm. This is true, okay? He doesn't have the strongest arm in the world. And you have to have a guy with a decent arm, especially in Buffalo, throwing the ball. You cannot have Matt Barkley out there. Just saying, it's just in general. So Matt Barkley, by the way, he was hurt anyway. So he will be on the practice squad. No one is picking up Matt Barkley. So for everyone that loves Matt Barkley, he will remain a Buffalo Bill. He will just be on the practice squad. and Kyle Allen will be the backup quarterback for the Buffalo Bills, and hopefully we never see him. So,
just like
that's
last
my
year,
opinion.
we'll never see him.
Right.
Because you have to remember,
yeah, go ahead.
Brandon Beane talked about it during the telecast. The backup quarterback's job isn't so much to be the guy to be ready to play. His job is to be a guy in the room that can help Josh get ready to play.
Mm-hmm.
And Josh has his two best friends in that room who he trusts more than anybody. They're not going to get another backup quarterback.
Right. Only way I see it happening, it would be a guy you can't pass. Right. A guy you can't pass up that, and he signs cheap. You know what I mean? And he happens to be there. Then I would say, hey, I'm cool with it. Go get him. And then you got a decision to make who is on the practice squad, Barkley or Kyle. Right. Yeah. So then you go from there. But that's the only way I would be down for it. Other than that, I'm not sweating it. I wasn't sweating the trade for Lance thing. A lot of people yesterday, Mikey, were like, oh, we should listen. It's the least of my concern. I know, I understand we need a backup quarterback, whatever, but we need way more than that. Like I would have loved the fact if I heard the Bills were trying to trade for some offensive lineman or a middle linebacker. I'd have been like, all right, at least I see Brandon Beane is on the phone. He knows what's up. He knows what we need. Backup quarterback. I mean, it's not going to help the team week one. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's where I lie.
I have a question for you guys. Yeah. So the Bills were in the discussion for the Trey Lance trade. And you see that Dallas gets him for a 4th round pick. I mean, that seems like a steal to me. I mean, why would not Beane throw a 4th rounder out there? What's your thoughts on that, guys?
I'll start, Tommy, and then you can go.
Yeah.
My take on that is Beane valued it at a 5th, because you have to remember, Trey comes with guaranteed rookie contract of the number 3 overall pick. So he owes about $1 million left of this year, and then $5 million next year. We're already over the cap next year. So I understand wanting to throw a higher draft pick to bring that in. But if you get him for 5th, it's kind of hard not to. If you get him for a 4th, I'm not, because then if you offer a 4th, Dallas counters with a 3rd. You offer then you can say the same thing. If they got him for a 4th, why not give up a 3rd? You know, it's one of those things. It's Dallas came in after the Bills came in and offered a better draft pick. It happens.
I mean, I see the upside for Lance. I've never been a fan. I never was a fan though. San Francisco did give him an opportunity, and mind you, he's very young. Okay. And he only got the opportunity one. He got hurt. Right. So I'm not going to totally judge him on that yet, but I wouldn't feel comfortable giving up a 4th for him. I think that the Bills need to eventually draft a quarterback with one of our freaking 10 picks. And why not take a chance on 6th round, 5th round, 6th round, 7th round guys all the time. There's quarterbacks, believe it or not, in this league that were undrafted or late round picks that are very serviceable backup quarterbacks. And some even are starting quarterbacks. So you could definitely find one. And it wouldn't be an outrageous thing to like draft one. It's funny because people are like, here, like, you don't draft we're not going to draft a backup quarterback, but you'll trade for Trey Lance 4th round pick. Like, I'm not doing that. Like, I'll wait until the 5th or 6th round and draft a quarterback if he's one of those guys who's like, okay, you know what? He could fit our system as a backup. We could let him sit behind Josh. You know, he's 4 years here, and we'll go from there. You know what I mean? I have no problem with that. But trading for a 4th round, no, I'm good with that. I think we'll be okay. And he's a backup quarterback. Once again, does nothing right now to help this team, like nothing. So I wouldn't feel comfortable giving up a 4th, 5th, maybe even that. I still,
I mean, we're talking about cutting a 5th round receiver now in Shakir. Like, he's on the bubble.
Please don't say that.
Oh, I know, and
I love. Listen, me and Mikey, we love. I think Sherfield is gonna. I think Shakir is gonna be a really good receiver in the league once he gets everything going. You know, everything right with him. But I don't know. I really hope that's not the case. I hope they figure something out where they can keep him on the team, because that would be. I'm telling you right now, they cut him, someone's gonna pick him up in a heartbeat. I do not see that guy lasting. This isn't going to be a. What was the guy that's with the Giants now? I can't believe I'm having a brain fart. Hodgins, where Hodgins got to stick around a little bit on practice squad until finally the Giants, because Dable knew what he was about, right? Picked him up. Nobody really knew outside of Dable probably what really would, because he was hurt, right? He didn't really see any preseason really much. And then Dable scooped him up because Dable knew he had time to work with him. But Shakir's had game film. He's been in the regular season game. He's had good moments, big catches. So, like, there's no way he would last in the practice squad. Impossible. He definitely would be picked
I
up.
don't think we would cut him. I think we would trade him before we cut him.
No, exactly.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I do not see a cut happening. Like, it would either be a trade or something like an IR where we keep him and nobody can, pick him up.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, I just wanted to close the loop on the question I posed with Trey. I mean, isn't it interesting, though, that they even had that conversation? If the Bills were truly in that conversation, it's kind of strange to me because, like you guys said, Trey, what has he proven? I see the channel out there. I mean, he was cut over Sam Darnold. Like, what value would he have brought? And he would have to learn the system. I think it's just crazy that the Bills were even in that conversation.
It doesn't surprise me for the fact that Brandon Beane is always one to take, those raw prospects and try to build them up. Beane and McDermott loved that stuff. They did it with Josh Allen. Josh Allen was just a ball of clay, and look what they turned into, and we said it when Josh hit. How many GMs are going to get themselves in trouble over drafting a ball of clay high, hoping that they can turn into Josh Allen, and he's not going to? The only reason why San Francisco isn't in trouble today is because, one, they've done a very good job of drafting outside of that, giving up 3 first rounds, and they hit on Brock Purdy, who's a late round pick, who they don't have to pay for 4 years.
Yeah, and lucky.
Yeah.
There's no way they saw that coming. That was Tom Brady.
They saw.
I'm not saying he's Tom Brady, by the way. Don't yell at me. I'm just saying Tom Brady. I don't think they saw that happening in New England when they drafted him late. Drew Bledsoe was the guy there. It just so happened Bledsoe got hurt, and here comes the man, right? And from there on out, it was Brady's team, and it kind of worked that way in Proctor's what's his name's favor, Purdy. I mean, and maybe they found something. We'll know. I'm still not 100% sold on him. This season will be big for me for Purdy. I want to see what he can do full year under his belt. And if he can do what he did last year and repeat it, then I'll say, hey, they got themselves a steal, a guy they probably had no idea would turn out that way. But I'm on board with Mike, man. Like getting beat out by Sam Darnold, and you're still under a rookie contract. They could have kept him for like nothing, and they wound up, trading him for a fifth.
It's funny that you guys say that. Sorry. Have either of you guys watched the 49ers and Sam Darnold play this preseason?
No.
I did not watch Sam Darnold play because I don't watch any other team but my Buffalo Bills.
I will tell you, the Sam Darnold that's on the San Francisco 49ers is not the Sam Darnold that you have seen in his last 2 stops. When you put talent around that guy, he actually plays pretty well.
He's not a bad quarterback. No, I've never said Sam Darnold's garbage. Sam Darnold's a pretty good quarterback. I still don't think he's a starting caliber franchise type quarterback, but I think he's a guy that's going to be around in the NFL a while. You know what I mean? I don't think he's a Baker Mayfield who's going to bounce around. You know what I mean? He's trying to get lucky and land a spot as a start. He's just not. I think he has a little bit more upside actually than Mayfield in my opinion. But yeah, I mean dude. I would love him here as a Darnold as a backup, no doubt about it. But
no, it's just funny. People say, oh, he got beat out. Why would you want a guy who got beat out by Darnold? Because Darnold played actually really well. I live in California, and I live in Northern California at that, so I see a lot of the 49ers.
But what is Sam Darnold? How many years got? Do you only sign a 1-year deal? Like what's you know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. So my point is the reason why I say that and where people are saying that's because one, you drafted a guy in the first round of Trey Lance, right? And he's on a rookie deal, and he's there still. What was his contract? 2 more years, something like that. So they would have had a guy still locked up there for a little bit. And I think people were still intrigued on what Trey Lance can do. You know what I'm saying? Is and I think that's what maybe Beane was even intrigued, right? If I get this guy, what can we do? Can we, can we mold this guy into what we kind of did with Allen, or at least somewhat, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't think San Francisco wanted to keep on with that. And maybe they saw more than we did or other people. They know more than us in camp, right? Yeah, they know what Lance looks like more than anybody. So clearly there was something that they were like, hey, it's time to move on.
You also, Matt Chatter comes in and says, watch Darnold the last 2 years. Those teams that Darnold played for the last 2 years were garbage. He didn't have a whole lot. Outside of DJ Moore last year, they traded his best weapon in Christian McCaffrey. They didn't have anything there.
Yeah,
That's like saying, Josh Allen his first year when he had no weapons at all. Like, he wasn't good. It's hard to win when you don't have weapons.
Yeah. People don't understand that. I agree with it. There's very few. I mean, honestly, I would say Tom Brady still had Gronkowski. You know what I mean? But other than that, I will say Brady is the one guy that kind of made his other, players around him look better because when they left, they weren't what they were. But Gronk was the one, But other than that, it's very rare a quarterback can, be successful without talent around him. You have to have it.
Yep. He didn't have it with the Jets. Carolina, he got off to a pretty good start. I think Christian McCaffrey got hurt that year that he was off to a real red hot start, and then he traded him, of course. So like you said, guys, they've moved on for Trey Lance for a reason. They've been working with the kid for the last couple of years. Maybe it's that injury. I don't know, but something's not a fit there.
I think Trey has to be traded. I think they would have kept him if he would have wanted to stay. I don't think he wanted to stay. He was supposed to be. He was named the starter coming out last year. Then Purdy happened, and then they brought in Darnold. Darnold beat him out, and he's like, I don't want to be here.
Makes sense.
He doesn't. Yeah. The guy came out raw, needs snaps, and he's now the QB3. He's not going to get.
I agree. I agree with that too, Mikey. I totally agree with that. Like, he would have never got. Yeah,
but he goes to Dallas, Mikey. Is he going to get a shot there at some point?
If you have to remember, if you look, if he spends this year as the backup learning the system, Dak has a balloon payment next year, and that they can get out of. If they see something in Trey, I can absolutely see them taking Trey at $5 million over Dak at like $65 million or something like that. Is his next year's cap hit that they can get out of? Yeah,
and not only that, Dak has an injury history.
That's
too.
true.
Yeah.
Dak
you know what I mean? So you never know if let's say Dak has another setback or something happens. I don't wish that upon anyone, but let's say that happens and Trey comes in and he looks pretty good. Let's say they like what they see. Mikey's right. They could definitely go, I don't know. This guy's much cheaper and we have him still on a rookie deal. And let's take the chance here and let's save some money and we'll work around Trey. I mean, very possible. Will that happen? I don't know. I'm not a fortune teller, but
that's a good point.
Yeah. Hey, at the end of the day, good luck to Trey and Dallas.
Yeah. So Mikey, normally I guess I'm glad you're here now because you do what you like, what you didn't like, and we'll kind of just go off you. So I guess we'll start with what you like, because we don't let me start what we don't like. So what did you like?
Did I like? I love the red zone. I love the red zone run calls. I liked seeing Damian Harris in that running back room. I thought Cook and Harris and really all the running backs played really well today. Loved our offensive line. There wasn't pressure, guys. It was really outside of Josh having to scramble on that one where he had the throwback. There was no pressure all day long. It was awesome.
Clean.
Yeah, it was pretty clean. I mean, I think Anderson got beat at right tackle once for the sack fumble, but other than that, the first two units were fairly clean all the way through. Our run game looked good early.
Yep.
Our first team unit looked really good, and then when our second team unit came in, you saw some breakdowns. But I enjoyed that. No penalties. The penalties were really low. I think Quessenberry got called for one that was just a cheap holding penalty. I didn't see holding on that at all.
Yeah, that was very minimal holding, if that. But they're going to get you once in a while, man. I mean, to be honest with you, a lot of offensive linemen hold. They just do it the right way, and they won't get called for it.
I think a lot of the things I was mad about last week, I think they cleaned up. The penalties, I still would like to see the turnovers get better because that was just a god-awful throw by Kyle Allen when he got picked.
Yeah, no reason to do that either.
No. Good.
I was going to say, so just a heads up for some of the good today that I did see. Now you were talking about the run game. I got to say, there's some guys that intrigued me today. Evans won, and I messaged you on that. I thought he had that run. That dude, that was a great run, man. Speed, power, got in the end zone. Like I thought this dude was going to go down. Like there was I think he shedded 3-4 tackles, something like that. Like,
Yeah.
that was very impressive. And he's had a decent preseason. Like, he's looked pretty good when he got the opportunity. Also, Ty Johnson today looked pretty good. He had 11 carries, had the most carries today, 51 yards, a 4.6 average, not bad. And Harris today, he did okay. 7 carries, 25 yards, 3.6 average. He did have the touchdown, and it was good to see him on the field because I really needed to see what Harris can bring. I do like his toughness. I like the fact that he can pass block very well. That's one thing about him. He's not scared to block. And he's like, if we can get that Harris healthy all season, great pickup. I just fear the guy can't stay healthy. And that's why I go back to the pickup we just did in Ty Johnson. He's not a bad player, guys. I don't. What do you feel about these two guys, Evans and Ty Johnson?
I think they're probably both practice squad guys.
Okay.
I think Ty Johnson has more special teams capabilities, but he's more of a third running back. But with Latavius Murray, I don't see that happening. I think they both probably, because Mims got hurt as well, and I thought Mims looked good in the first two games. So it'll be interesting to see how they play this one out. But I think 2 of those 3, Mims, Johnson, and Evans, are going to be on the practice squad. I think our running back room set with Gilliam, Cook, Harris, and Murray.
I agree. Mike, what do you think about the running back room?
Yeah, so Darrington Evans, I mean, obviously he's your black shear from last year, right? He's going to go to the practice squad. He might get scooped up like Blackshear did. But, I mean, yeah, great run, like you said. Ty Johnson, I just feel they were brought in because they were like, we need some folks to fill out the squad this week. So let's bring him in and let him get a little bit of play, help him with his future. But I don't even know if he makes the practice squad because, you know, you are limited to 16 players this year on the practice squad. And there's so many good ones that I see that I would not want to give up a practice squad position for him. So I think he was just there to kind of, you know, play today and fill out a starting lineup for the Bills at some point.
You may be right. Teams do that a lot too.
Yeah.
You might be right, Mike, on that one. But he looked good. I got to say, though, he didn't look bad, though. Go ahead, Mike.
So, Mike, what's your thoughts on Jonathan Kingsley?
So the guys on our channel love him. He went to Syracuse, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So the guys on our channel, you know, they're local to Buffalo. They love him. They think there's a spot for him, and they both think he makes the squad, or they want him to make the squad.
Who do they make it over?
To me, I don't think he does. I think he's still practice squad. Honestly.
No. Who do your guys think that he makes it over?
Oh, let me bring it up here. It's been a while since we looked at that.
We're gonna do our 53 on Monday.
Okay.
So,
yeah,
like I can see it because he has such, you know, he was a raw prospect coming out.
Yeah.
And he does. I saw that Von Miller spin today. So everything Von's teaching him is starting to pay off, and he's had a fantastic camp and preseason. And I think they want to keep him, but who do they keep him over? That's the problem. It's such a deep room.
I think Shaq Lawson, in my opinion.
Our best run defender at defensive end.
I think so. I mean, if you got to choose, Shaq Lawson, he played really well last year. There's a reason why he's been on a few teams in the past. And was he the best run defender? Was he our best run defender?
Yeah. He's our best edge runner.
I mean, he had some good plays last year. I mean, he was getting some nice pressure as well. But I don't know. I mean, if you're asking the only one could see him, look, we got Miller when he comes back. Miller will be on the pup, I think. I mean, it depends who you're listening to. He'll be on IR for a little bit. So now you have, you have Rousseau, Epinesa, Basham, Floyd, and Lawson. So if you're keeping Kingsley, Jonathan, who of those guys you're going to put him over? I think he goes.
I don't think you're keeping Boogie. I think he's the odd man out. I still think he's the odd man out. I still think he's the I think he is the trade bait if you're going to make a trade. In my opinion, he's had a good preseason, but that only helps more of the trade, right? That will only boost what you're going to get for him. That he's had a good preseason. That's where I'm going with it. Or or Epinesa. I could see 2 maybe, but I still think they like what they see from Epinesa. And Epinesa hasn't looked bad either in preseason, and he's made some plays. So I think Boogie's the odd man out. I think they keep Shaq because of his run defense. He is one of the better run defenders on this team. I just think Boogie would be the odd man out. I think I could be wrong, but I think they like what they see in Kingsley, and if anyone's gonna be moved out or cut, it would be Boogie. And I don't think it would be a cut. I think it would be a trade. I think you can get something for Boogie, a player or a pick, and then you can even trade him for a pick and use that pick in another trade if Bean wants another player and use that
trade
as like a
Bean trade.
Yeah, I know. Trading for a player, by the way, for Bean is so. I wish, and I talk about it like it could happen, but it won't, because Bean is super stubborn. And I talked about this last night, Mikey. You know that you watched. Yep. He just doesn't do it. He doesn't pull the trigger. He'll trade our guys. He'll trade players away for picks, but it's super rare he gets players back in a trade. He just doesn't. I don't know what it is. He just doesn't like to do it often, man. He'd do it once in a blue moon, but right now, like, we need depth and we need players. And I just kind of feel like Mikey right now, what he's doing, he's waiting for next week on Tuesday when cuts are made, and he's going to pick up some just random guys that we probably never heard of, or and let's just hope and keep our fingers crossed that maybe there is a guy or two out there that just couldn't make the team, right? And he happened to be there for us, and was available, and we picked him up. But other than that, I don't see Bean trading for a player, but I could see him getting more picks.
Colleen comes in and says, Michigan here, just too close, one to blow out. I don't know, I'm nervous. You can't really look at blowouts for preseason, especially, we went 3 and out. Offense came on our first team offense came on the field. We drove right down the field, scored. Then they came back out. I think we got to stop again. And then here comes our backups. So it wasn't like they were on the field enough with our starters to have a blowout.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, and Colleen, I would never preseason, and I said it a million times. This is not. I could care less if we win or lose or what this. I just want to see our starters and our backups, play to the best of their abilities, eliminate stupid boneheaded penalties. I like to see the younger guys fighting for a roster, or for position battles. Like, that's what this is all about, is for coaches to evaluate what they got, what they don't. This isn't about scoring. Listen, McDermott wasn't even calling defense today. That just goes to show you, like, how it's not that important what the end score is. Now, of course, do they want to win? Of course, every player wants to win in the NFL. Like, doesn't matter preseason or regular season, but at the end of the day, it means nothing, right? There's teams that have gone 4-0 when there used to be, the Lions went 4-0. They look great, and they went 0-16 one year. So it means nothing. There's teams that look great in preseason. Regular season comes, they look awful. So don't go on everything, preseason, because preseason really means nothing at the end of the day. It's really just to evaluate talent. So we'll see what you got and make the moves, man. That's it for players fighting for positions, man.
So to hit on Mark real quick, and then we'll go to Mike. Mark's comment says players to be picked up, right? So Evans and Johnson, Anderson and Bacher, Isabella and Keyshawn Johnson, Jonathan, Klein and Anku, and Howard and Austin. Isabella doesn't have to go through waivers because he's a vet. I believe Evans has 4 years already, so he would be a vet as well.
Mm-hmm.
Keyshawn, I believe, has passed the vet status as well.
Mm-hmm.
I believe Anku's passed the vet status, and I think that's it. The rest of them would have to go through waivers. But
yeah,
okay, I like it, Mark. I like it.
So, Mikey, who else? Oh, sorry, Mike. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think it's crazy. And what does this say about our drafting when we're talking about Basham, a second rounder, looking to get rid of him already when we still have him under contract? Elam, first rounder last year, who now looks like he's, fourth on the depth chart, third on the depth chart, cornerback too. Epinesa, second rounder. He had a good year last year, like 6.5 snaps. I seen progress from him. But, I mean, we're talking about all these guys trading them away. And I don't know if I'm Bean, if he does that, what is he saying? Did I make a mistake? Is he willing to admit I made a mistake? I don't know if he's
did it with Cody Ford
doing. Well, Cody Ford.
I gotta say though,
he gave Cody Ford a lot of chances, man.
And he's given
he did
Basham the chances because can you afford to go into the season with Basham? If say something happens and Vaughn, God forbid, has a setback, and then something happens to Floyd or Rousseau, do you trust that Basham can get you over the hump?
Well, if what happens, what you're saying, I mean, who else are you going to depend on there?
Well, I mean, you have a veteran in Lawson, you have an upstart in Kinsley Jonathan, so you have other guys. We have like 7 or 8 deep at the end that you can play. So when you start looking at it, well, who has the value? The value, really, the only truly valuable one we have is Basham, former second-round pick with 2 years left on his deal.
So to go off your point, Mike, real quick too, about and I understand where you're coming from, but one, I'll say no GM in the NFL ever has gotten it all right. Every GM has made mistakes, drafted wrong, first round, second round, third, it doesn't matter. There's been first overall picks that don't work out, right? We can go, but I mean, look at 2018, right? Darnold, Mayfield, Rosen. I mean, we go down the list, right? And I'm sure they saw the talent there at one point, and they have to move on eventually. You got to. So I'm not hating that, and I don't think Bean would be like, oh man, it's what is this going to say about me? Like, this is how it works. This is the NFL, man. Not every player, makes it. Not every player is what they were in college into the NFL. So I think it would be a disservice for him not to move on from a player that's just not working out, rather than, I drafted him in the first or second. So you know what? I'm just going to have to gut it out, and he's going to have to be here 4 years and just do nothing. You get what I'm saying, Mike? I'd rather him go, you know what? Yeah, I drafted him in the second round. Probably a bad decision on my part. Let's get something for him now, rather than have him sit here, not really get any playing time, right? And then just be, and then he goes in free agency, and we don't wind up signing him anyway. So get something while you can is what I always say. It is what it is. No GM's perfect. And that's how I see it. You know what I mean? And I think that's the right way of going about it. And I think every GM understands that, in my opinion. Like, they all know you're not going to always get it right. And listen, we all sat here. I don't know about you, Mike, or because I didn't talk to you back then, but when Boogie was drafted, me and Mikey I think we were live on that one, right? I believe I was pissed. What are you doing?
We want to trade Humphreys.
I didn't understand the pick to begin with. And then even AJ, I will say everyone had AJ going to the Bills in the second round. And it was a second round. There was really not a whole bunch there. I don't hate the pick. I think everybody knew Epinesa was going to the Bills. And that's very rare that most people say mock drafts, AJ is going to the Bills, AJ, and they got that one right. He's been okay. I think he took a step forward last year, Mike. I don't think he took a giant leap, but I think he took a step forward to say, okay, all right, maybe he can take a bigger step this year, turn that 6.5 to 8.5, and then we can go, okay, AJ, we see you. So, but Cody Ford, listen, he traded up. We passed DK Metcalf. It was a mistake, and I'm glad he got something for him, right? He also drafted, what was that quarterback out of Georgia, and he got something for him. Fromm, who was a terrible, I think he was a 5th round pick. It's awful, but at least he got something for him. You got to move on from some of these guys, right? You can't just keep them on the roster because you made a mistake in the draft. That's where I went with it.
We didn't get anything for Fromm. He was. I
thought we did, or we cut him.
He plucked off of our.
I swear we traded for him. Maybe you're right. Yeah, or whatever. He's garbage. So, but we did. But I know we have traded away picks in the past. That didn't work out.
I want to hit this. Let me hit this one real quick.
Yeah,
Red, White, and Bills comes in and says everyone's so quick to run guys out, but Spencer Brown gets unlimited chances.
He hates Spencer Brown.
Listen, I think everyone would be saying the same thing about Spencer Brown. They're saying about Boogie Basham if we had depth behind Spencer Brown. We don't, and that's the problem. That's why everyone just keeps holding out hope that Brown makes the turn. So anyway, sorry,
And
Mike.
Spencer
Go ahead.
Brown wasn't. I think Spencer Brown was a third round.
Yeah,
What
third
round
round
was
pick.
Spencer
Third
Brown?
round.
Third round. Okay, I know they're close, second, third, but I think they see more upside with Brown over Ford. That's just my opinion. But go ahead, Mike. You were going to say something. I'm
Oh, I
sorry.
was just going to follow up. I mean, if you stayed with Epinesa, look up until last year, and that was his third year. This is his fourth year, right?
Yeah.
It took a little while. It took 3 years, because before last year, people were talking about Epinesa being traded and let go, and now, after coming off was it 6.5 sacks last year on a rotation base, which is a very good year.
Yeah.
I mean, and this is just Boogie's third year. Why won't you give him the same courtesy as you did Epinesa?
Because I don't see the same flashes out of Boogie that I saw out of Epinesa in his second year. And we also have a deeper room this year than we had in any year that Epinesa has had. You want to trade Epinesa and keep Boogie? I can get on board with that. But I don't think I think you're going to get more for Boogie than you will get for AJ, because there's the extra year of eligibility on the rookie contract.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I think that's the only reason why I think Boogie is the guy who would be looking to move on, is because he's the most valuable asset we have in that room for trade.
I mean, it's fair point. It's fair points, Mikey. Like I was just saying, though. I mean, second round, and I'm not saying Bean wouldn't do it. It was just interesting to me to say, look, I've drafted these guys. I've seen him give guys their fair amount of time to develop. Boogie's still early, but if you're saying he's the better trade bait, and I feel like he hasn't got as much play time in the past couple of years, but when he was in, I'd see Boogie make some plays. So I don't know, and he can play inside as well. I like the versatility, and but Mikey, you have fair points, man. I'm not going to argue against that.
I will say this though. I will say this though to counter that. I think Boogie, this is the best I've seen from Boogie this preseason. There's no doubt about it. Like, and that will be what Brandon Bean has to ask himself. Okay, like what am I seeing here this season so far, this preseason? This is the best I've seen from Boogie. Is it worth getting rid of him? And that's a question he has to answer to himself, right? That's something that he's going to have to figure out, right? And I get it, Mike. Listen, I'm all on board for giving up. I think every player, even, by the way, coaches as well, deserve an opportunity more than 1 year before people are like, this guy's the worst. He's get him the fuck out of here. Like, I hate that. Like I think everybody deserves a 3-year window. That's how I go about it. Like, everybody's different. I think head coaches should get a 3-year window. It's not new head coach going to a team like, you're not going to win right away. Like, that's usually doesn't how it works. You got to let this guy build it the right way, build it his way. It's going to take some time. And that goes for players too. Not every player that steps on the field in the NFL and is like amazing. Some players take a little longer to develop. Now, some players never get it, or some players don't get that system. They go somewhere else and they flourish. It could happen. Boogie could go somewhere and be the man in Green Bay. Well, I'm just throwing a team out there, right? And just be like, damn, look at Boogie, right? I mean, prime example. And by the way, I like what I saw from Wyatt Teller, but Wyatt Teller is a good example, because Wyatt Teller for them was, I mean, I don't know. We might wind up cutting them. Like, this is what the coaches were thinking and seeing. I didn't see that. Mikey didn't see that, but I'm just saying what they saw, right? Bad advice. And that's a player, Mike, that Bean should have been more patient and should have said, hey, no, I want to wait on this dude because I think I see something there. Instead, he took bad advice by Bobby Johnson at the time and didn't really probably do his due diligence and said, you know what? I'm going to get rid of him, get something now. And he pulled the trigger too quick. So, yes, in a way, it could backfire, no doubt about it, because look at Wyatt Teller now. So I get what you're saying in a way.
All this could be for Knott and Boogie Basham and AJ Epinesa could both be on this roster.
Yeah, exactly. No doubt.
None of us truly know. It's just
doubt.
It's just what I see. When I also look at Boogie, I look at a guy who came out of college kind of almost at his peak. He had a 5-year run in college, to where when you look at AJ, he had a 3-year run in college and had more room to grow. That's the difference. So when I saw AJ in his second year and I saw him starting to show that consistent growth versus I've seen now 2 years of Boogie and I didn't really see the growth. He just kind of was the same player, and I'm not saying they can't grow, but, we'll see how this goes. That's kind of all how I take all mine in and why I thought he was probably I've been out. I'm not in the rooms. I have no freaking clue. I'm throwing darts at a board, dude.
No, you're in the
Just
room.
like everyone else.
You're in the room, Mikey.
Yeah, I
the
know.
truth. You have contacts,
What's your thoughts?
man.
What's your guys' thoughts on Settle? Because I'm seeing it in the chat. I saw it earlier. Not a lot of, and I'm seeing it on Twitter too. Not a lot of people happy with Tim Settle's play. You think he makes the team, man? Because I think he's on the bubble. I think he's on the bubble because
I think they keep all 5. I think Puna is more in jeopardy than Settle's in jeopardy.
He's played he's played bad.
I have not seen Puna get activated up to play with the first team defense.
You are right about that. That's a little odd for me. I got to be honest with you, Mikey. I think Puna deserves it. I think Puna's a better player than Settle.
So do I.
do. Everything I've seen, but you're right.
Coaches.
Settle's. Yep, I agree. I just man.
I think they keep all 5. I think we keep 10 D linemen. I think we keep 5 DNs.
You could be right.
We keep 5 D tackles, and that's how they're going to run it.
We're going to go over that 50. By the way, Monday, guys.
Yes, Monday.
We're going to be doing our 53, and me and Mike are going to be. We're going to discuss it. We're going to have our 53 locked in before we go live, and we're going to agree on it. It's going to be tough. We're going to be jabbing each other until we get it right, but we'll get it right. Mike, what's your thoughts on Tim Settle?
We're paying him a lot of money, and I haven't seen anything so bad in preseason. I really haven't. He's a big, last year he struggled for sure. He didn't play up to the expectations, but I think he makes the team, as does Puna. I'm on board with what Mikey's saying. I think they all make it, and no way they're cutting Settle. I think he's a $5 million cap hit if they were to let him go. Again,
the cap hit's too big. Then I didn't know about the cap, so the cap hit would, then that's probably not going to happen unless they would have to trade him. Exactly, and I don't know if any suitors are going to want Tim Settle right now. So, but hey, we'll see. Maybe Tim Settle can dial it up when the regular season starts. I just haven't seen it this preseason. I haven't seen much from him.
I think part of the issue with Tim Settle is they keep trying to play him in a 1-tech. He's not a 1-tech.
Yes,
he's a 3-tech. It's if they would play him in the right position, then I think they would be better, and they just refuse to do it for whatever reason.
I agree with that too. Yep, totally. What else did you guys like today? By the way, I'll start with you, Mike.
Let me look at my notes that Mikey didn't already cover. Let's see here.
I didn't even have notes. I wasn't expecting to be.
Nice
yeah, I was shocked. Hey, don't worry. We're gonna have the good, bad, and ugly tomorrow, Mikey. You can make up for it with your notes.
Let's see here. He pretty much mentioned. I did want to talk to you guys about Saran Neal and Cam Lewis. So Saran Neal's been getting a lot of play in the preseason, and I was like wondering to myself, why am I seeing him on the field so much? I mean, we know he's a great special team guy, but are they auditioning him? Now I'm thinking, no, it's more, let's see what he can do, because I think there's a discussion, and I hope it's not the case, but I mean, Cam Lewis or Saran Neal, it could come down to those two. I'm hoping it's not the case, because I thought Cam Lewis played well today. I do want to ask you guys, who blew the coverage on that pass that the tight end missed for a touchdown? Dropped it. Who blew the coverage? There was Damar there, and there was Cam Lewis there. One of them blew the coverage.
Actually, you missed who actually blew the coverage.
It was Dotson, I believe.
It was Dotson.
Was it the linebacker?
Yeah, because he actually split. It wasn't either of the safeties. He split Cam Lewis, or not Cam Lewis, but he split 33. I just forgot his name. Saran Neal. He split Saran Neal, and Dotson never dropped. Based off of the TV coverage, it looked like it was Dotson who dropped the coverage.
Okay, because
once we look back at the all 22, we'll have a better understanding.
Yeah, I know he went down the scheme, and I'm like, one of those safeties I felt should have helped.
It wasn't even the safeties; it was the linebacker and the nickel. They split them.
So back to my question. So I'm a fan of Cam Lewis. I thought he played really well today. He had a good game. He was the leading tackler. He had that good stick to knock the ball out of that one play, and he's so versatile as well. He can play safety. He can play your backup to your slot corner. He can play corner. He's versatile. He plays special teams now as well. So I'm like, what do you guys think, Saran? If you had to choose between one of those two, and I'm hoping they can get them both on the squad somehow, some way, but if you had to choose between those two, who are you going with, Mikey?
Saran Neal.
Yeah,
and I'm going from Saran Neal, not from a defensive perspective. I'm going from he is one of the elite special teams players in the NFL. That's what he's being paid for. Now, what we saw from him this year was probably the best defense he's played in his 5-year career. I love Cam, and I love all the different things he can do, but he's also just more of a special teams guy as well, because he's not a backup anywhere. He's a third, fourth string everywhere. He can play in all the different positions. I would love for us to find a way, but if you're keeping 11 DBs, that means you're not keeping 10 offensive linemen, 10 defensive linemen. So I think Cam is one of those last bubble guys. Do you keep a third tight end? Do you keep an extra offensive lineman? Do you keep an extra D end? How many linebackers do you keep? We always keep 6 linebackers and we only play 2. Makes no sense to me whatsoever.
Right, there's an opportunity there for sure.
So where do they see him fitting? So I think he's definitely on the bubble. I could see a world where he makes it. I'll tell you, on my 53, he'll probably be the last one out.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I love him.
Agree.
I do.
I agree with you, man. Cam Lewis is having a bounce back year. I thought last year a little shaky at times when he was given the opportunity. Made that boneheaded play versus Minnesota. But I think this preseason he's really played well. But I think Saran Neal has stepped up his defense big time, because he's always been that special teams player. But he is a hybrid, man. He is the most athletic player we have on the team. That's what everyone has said since day one. And I just, man, every time he's involved in a play, he makes it count, boy. He will lay that hit on you. He will get on the, regardless if it's a pass interference. Like, he's going to be there. He's going to make a play. He's relentless. And I just like what I've seen from him so far. And he made a lot of good plays this preseason as well. So no, I think you have to keep Saran Neal. You cannot. And I think McDermott loves what he brings to this team too. So I just can't. I just can't see him getting cut.
I have to agree after what we've seen. And that's the reason now I'm like, this is why they've been playing him so much, trying to see if he can do. And we have him on a 3-year contract. We paid good money for Saran, whereas Cam Lewis is like a $350,000 dead cap hit if we were to release him. But I love Cam Lewis. I think he'd get snagged up. I love what somebody said here. Cam Lewis off to the Giants off waivers. He's going to get snagged.
Wouldn't shock me.
If Cam Lewis is cut, he's getting snagged by somebody.
Our show Monday night, Tommy, 9, right?
Yeah, 9 o'clock, guys.
9 o'clock.
It changes. So, guys, real quick. So that show Monday night, we have one more week of it being at 9 o'clock. So this Monday at 9, and then next week at Monday at 9. But after that, it's after Monday Night Football. So what, 11:30, something like that? We go live on Monday nights right when week 1 hits. Just a heads up. The time will change, but hey, if you're up late, you got nothing better to do. Mikey, last night I go live at 11. I'm thinking no one's gonna join me, right? Late as shit. It was busy, and I had a pretty decent room. I'm like, thank you, guys, because man, I thought I'd be alone. Because when I first signed in, it was like 0, and I'm like, I guess I'll be talking about myself.
I like this one from our buddy Sean. Call Detroit and offer a 7th for Freddie. Freddie looked good. The backup right tackle and
I would do that. I have no problem. Yeah. We got 10 picks. I think 10 or 11 picks. You could definitely listen. You stockpile on 6th and 7th round pick. Go ahead and get rid of one of them. It's fine. You're okay with that. Like, I'm good with that.
Spit. I'm surprised Tommy doesn't wait until Tuesday for the 53. No one likes cheaters.
I know. I do cheat.
You ain't cheating. You ain't trying.
So anyone else that you like, guys, and so we can get to the didn't like, and then we can get the hell out of here.
I think I hit all the ones that I had.
You did. You hit all mine too.
Okay. All right. So what didn't you like today? There wasn't a lot, but what didn't you like today? As far as
red letters, Dotson.
Yeah.
Dotson. And McDermott's going to find the good in him. I am so over the Dodson experience. I am. And McDermott just keeps trying to find ways to say, oh, he's had a good practice this week. Great. I don't see it on Sundays or Saturdays.
Yeah.
At what point am I going to see it? He's going to say, but he had some great stops against the second and third team. Well, what did he do against the first team? Nothing.
Right. What about you, Mike? Anything you kind of sticks out that you didn't
Really-
really care for today?
Really, that's it. It's a big miss by the Bills. They paid. So we were talking about earlier, and we talked about it in good detail. But the fact that they paid Dotson $2 million, $2 million guaranteed for this year. And I know you had said Bobby Wagner and Levante David wanted, maybe we're out of our price, but you take that $2 million. David signed for $4.5 million. Now he probably like to stay in Tampa. You don't have to uproot and move everybody out. And Wagner signed for $5.5 and $5.5 million, and probably because he was going back to Seattle where he's had so many good years. But it'd have been nice for them to go aggressively there, and then instead of paying Dotson $2 million, I just don't know where that was.
I agree with that.
Well,
I would say, I would say for me, the good. So some good that you missed. I thought, and I mentioned this earlier. I thought David Edward played very, very well today.
Oh, I talked about the line in general, but yeah, David Edwards was part of that.
So I thought like so I'll say Edward. I thought filled in very well. Denmark, whatever. I thought he did once again very, very good. He has to make. I would be shocked if he doesn't make the roster.
He also did it well at right tackle this time,
which was surprising because at right tackle he was not too good.
He spent all week at right tackle this week to see if he can get it, he can lock down that swing tackle job.
And I want to say too, that could be because we have a very good offensive line coach in Cromer, and you're going to see these younger guys like that start to progress, right? And some guys just won't get it, and like. That's okay, but I think Denmark is starting to show that. And then also, what I didn't like today, I thought the run blocking was okay. The run tackling, the run defense. There were some gashes I didn't like. I thought the tackling, a little bad tackling at times today, but they can clean that up. It wasn't horrible. Tyler Bass missing a field goal. That was an easy field goal. Come on, buddy, you got to make that. Like no, get it out of your system now. But that's a makeable field goal. And by the way, the game is closer. Like if that was a regular season game, that field goal could have hurt us, right? That missed field goal. Yeah. So he needs to make these field goals. He needs to get his act together, whatever's going on there, because he also missed an extra point in the preseason as well, which once again, can't have that happen, especially when we just paid you. Jordan Phillips, kind of quiet today, but he did play, and I like that. He got on the field today. Ed Oliver looked really good today. While he was on the field, that I liked. And Isabella did not like the return game at all. The fumble was bad.
Just don't like Isabella as a returner.
You cannot put the ball on the field. You can't do that. Like, I'd rather you just fair catch it at that point. Like
Johnson was Johnny on the spot, though.
He was, thank God. Other than that, though, I thought this was a very good bounce back game, especially for the starters. And I think that's what McDermott wanted to see. And that's the reason why he had them play this. This was a makeup game. This was a makeup game for week 2. And that first drive was, well, by the way, too, Ken Dorsey did a great job. And I got to give him credit, too, for calling a good drive there. He mixed it up well with the run and the pass, got the ball out of Josh's hand pretty quick. It was very clean. And the offensive line did much better. There was no penalties in that drive. So, kudos for them to have a bounce back game, because that's what I wanted to see. I think that's what everyone wanted to see, because I feel like if this game would have been like last game where the first team comes out, that first series, it's sloppy, penalties, we don't score a touchdown or a field goal, whatever. They're back out there for series 2 again until they probably get it right. You know what I mean? So I'm glad they got it over with. It looked clean. Now prepare for the Jets. That's how I see this game.
Triggs comes in and says McDermott thought he could replace Edmonds. I don't think he appreciated the value Edmonds brought, because if he did, they would have paid Edmonds and not Oliver. And I thought about it, and I'm like, well, Oliver only got paid 16. But if you get rid of Dodson's $2 million and Oliver's 16, you could have given Edmonds the 18. So there was a way to get Edmonds back. I just don't think Edmonds' value here was worth $18 million as a middle linebacker. I just don't.
I don't think they ever used them right. If they used them right, his value would have been 1,000%.
100%. I know, but the way we use our middle linebackers, it's not worth $18 million.
Right. See, I'm on board with that. Now that makes sense. You know what's funny, guys? A Bears fan commented they're like on my video, they're like, thanks for Edmonds, go Bears, or something like that. I'm like, hey, you guys got a great player, man. Hopefully you can use them right. I'm not gonna, good for you guys,
Oh, really? Red, White, and Bill says his average is 9. I'll have to go back and look at his contract. I thought it was more than that.
Yeah,
I thought it was 16 because he's like 9th highest paid in the NFL on an annual AAV.
I still listen though. I will say though, Ed Oliver is a very good player, and I think he can get better. And I think he's had a very good preseason so far. If he could stay healthy and continue what he's doing in the preseason onto the regular season, you're going to appreciate that contract. Like, he's going to wind up being that's a good deal. So obviously you got to stay healthy and you got to keep improving. But I don't think Ed Oliver's reached his ceiling yet. Like, he's still growing, getting better. So that contract could be, like I said, at the end of the day, it could be wind up being a great deal for us. So I wouldn't say that's a bad deal that we can't wind up keeping Ed Oliver. Anything else, guys? We've been on for an hour and a half. I did not plan on this. Less than an hour. Mikey, anything? Are we missing anything in the chat?
His APY is $17 million. He got 6.
See, Mikey's good at this stuff. I'm terrible at the money thing.
Well, this is why I'm good at it. Here you go, brother.
So, Mike is gonna show that right now.
There you go.
All right, there you go. There's the breakdown.
Yeah. So here's the breakdown.
If you can see it, it's very small, but
yeah, he got 17 annually.
Yeah, that's up there. So,
yeah.
Right. So once again, if we used him correctly, I would have no problem paying them that. But we did not use Edmonds correctly in the system. He just was not for this system. He was not for McDermott, or Frazier. I mean, they wanted him. They liked him. He was great at what he did, but they didn't utilize him correctly, in my opinion. So we'll see what he does with the Bears, but he's a very good player, man. Very good player. He got paid.
Hey, can I ask you guys a question real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Both of you. So during the preseason, obviously, I heard, they don't plan a lot for these games. And I don't think we saw the defense that I saw in preseason looked like the defense I've seen in years past. So going into going against the Jets, week 1, Monday night, what do you think we're going to see a little different than what we saw in preseason?
You want me to go first, Mikey?
Go ahead.
You want me to go first on this question?
Go ahead.
Okay. So even Steve Tasker mentioned it during this game that you're not going to see anything exotic, as far as defensive play calling in preseason. It's just the way it goes in the NFL. They're not going to show you their cars. They're not going to do anything like that. McDermott, what he brings as far as a defensive coordinator, at least when he was a defensive coordinator in Philly and in Carolina, is a little bit more of an aggressive style, actually a lot more aggressive style than what Frazier brought to the table. I expect to see that in the regular season. I hope to see that, because if we go back to what we've been seeing, with the Frazier type defense, then yeah, it would be all for nothing, in my opinion, him taking over as DC. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I think you are going to see exotic blitzes. You're going to see exotic looks. You're going to see Taylor Rapp in there with Poyer and Hyde. You're going to see a lot of different looks and more aggressive defense, in my opinion. Even when Von Miller gets back, I think you're going to see Floyd, Miller, and Rousseau all in at the same time. You can even see some 3-4 defense at times. I think he's going to mix it up. He did that in Carolina. He was a top 5 defensive. That team was a top 5 defense while McDermott was there as a defensive coordinator. He got them to a Super Bowl as a defensive coordinator. That team was good. So I do expect this team to be more aggressive when the season kicks off. He's just not going to show you his cards in the preseason. And that goes same for the offense, right? everyone was like, oh, Ken Dorsey, same old, like same old thing. Like, what is he doing? It's very vanilla. This is once again, the preseason is just a showcase, players and evaluate. And if they can't do the basic stuff, then they're probably not making the team. Right. So which is blocking, run blocking, pass blocking. Like you got to do that stuff. So, I expect this defense to look different under McDermott this season. I hope. If it's not, and we continue down this road where it's the same defense, we get in the playoffs, right? We're a top 5 defense in the regular season, get in the playoffs, and we do that scared defense, that passive kind of defense, that zone, soft zone that we love to run, then I'm going to say, you know what? It was McDermott. It was McDermott that whole time. But if it's not, and he's aggressive and we lose like that, then hey, it is what it is, right? I'll take it. At least he tried to do something different. But I don't expect the Frazier type defense. That I just don't. Mikey,
what was the question?
Go ahead, Mike. I know Mikey was looking stuff up.
I think Tommy.
No, I was kidding.
But I'm going to say, with all that you said, Tommy, maybe are they having Dotson play bad purposely? Maybe we're going to see something new with Dotson.
I would love, by the way, real quick, I would love, and they're not going to do it, but I would have loved to see Rapp in the preseason move to linebacker at one point, because they were testing it out with Los Angeles at one point. And I think that would be a decent option. He's a vet. He plays hard. He hits hard. And everything I've seen in preseason so far, I like what I've seen. So they're not going to do it, but I could see them in certain situations move him to linebacker during some parts of games, like just mixing him in there. But he is interesting. He's an interesting player to watch for this season, going down in the box at least. That's how I see it.
And to answer your question, Mike, I think Tommy covered most of it. I hope we see the Sean McDermott defense from his Carolina and Eagles days, but until I see it, I it is what it is.
Yeah, I agree.
That's not all I can say about that.
I'm on board with that, guy. So anything else? Did we miss anything? Anyone else still want to go for it?
I think we nailed it, brother.
All right, guy. Hey, once again, Mike, thank you so much for joining me, for helping us out. You know what? If you need me tomorrow, brother, I got you. I can help you out, man. If you need somebody to fill in, or even as a guest, I got you. Mikey, I know you're sick.
Yeah.
I appreciate you hopping on.
I'm getting better.
We will be on. Yeah, we will. So tomorrow, if Mikey joined tonight, he better join tomorrow. So he'll be on tomorrow. We'll have
tomorrow.
I'm sorry, Monday. We'll have the fit. You know why? I said this last week, because I'm so used to football being on Sunday when we do post game. Like I'm talking like it's Sunday. You know what I mean? Like, because I normally, this is the first year, by the way, that me and Mikey's ever done post game preseason. Like ever. Like we've never covered preseason post game talk.
Yeah.
Ever. So this is like I'm talking
and
like
our whole 2 years of doing this ever
for real. We never, not one, not that I remember.
When you get big, guys, that's what happens.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
No.
We're trying.
You guys
all right,
awesome.
guys. So once again, Red, White, and Bills. If you haven't gone and subscribed to his channel, go ahead. He's a newbie, but he's doing good things over there. Mike, tell them where they can find you, man.
We're over on Nickel City Mafia. We'll be going live tomorrow night at 9 for our Sunday Night Bills talk. The only place you can get dollar drinks and 50-cent wings while we do the show. So check it out. What I like about going a little bit later after the game is we'll have abilities to watch the replay, stop, rewind. All 22 won't be out. They usually take up to 48 hours. Unfortunate, but it's a fun show. It's our Sunday night show, and we have a lot of fun on it. It's Nickel City Mafia on YouTube. Appreciate you guys, and I'm looking forward to your 53-man roster battle. I want to see those gloves on there, and all I want to say is you better fight for Shakir over Isabella, or I'm going to be coming in swinging.
I'll tell you, Shakir and Isabella will probably both be on the roster, except Shakir will be on the IR.
I know, but let's take that out of the picture. Just imagine that Shakir was healthy and that wasn't going to happen.
I think Shakir beats him out.
Yes,
there's no way I think Isabella wins, especially after his muff today.
I think I really hurt him.
That's what I like to hear from Mikey. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, brother.
Thank
I
you
got you.
guys. Keep better, man.
All right, Bills Mafia, we love you. We've been on for an hour and a half. We'll be on Monday night at 9 o'clock. And then obviously, Nickel City Mafia will be on tomorrow. What time?
9 p.m.
9 o'clock.
Eastern.
And do you guys deliver those wings, 50-cent wings, or no
I mean,
delivery?
you never know.
go.
You got to show up to know.
Oh, okay. All right, guys, we're out of here. Bills Mafia, once again, we love you. As always, go Bills.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.